Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu alla ilaha illallah. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu alla ilaha illallah. Allahu Akbar. My mothers of the human race, my mothers of human kind, my mothers of human beings. Yesterday, I'm in the Americas. I'm in America to look at my beautiful children of America, my beautiful mothers. Mothers of America. Mothers of America, all the way from Alaska, all to the tip of the Galapagos or something like that. My American children and my mothers, greatly I do honor and extend my great admiration and love and beauty to the interpretations of the ayahs of the Holy Quran. I said to my mothers, this is for my mothers. If it gets to be put into your proper interpretations as mothers, because as mothers, the female creation, you are well aware. You are well aware of your celestial obligation by now, either by a holy divine interpretation of the guidance of the Holy Quran, or by Mother Nature's law, and on top of that, of your what you call your United Nations, World Health Organization, United Nations Security Assembly. In each of those bodies that I've mentioned, many of you, if you are to be doing something, oh, yesterday the UN did this, you kind of look up to see what are they talking about. If it's a World Health Organization, you look up to see what are they talking about. As mothers, I've said it again and again and again, that mothers, the female creation and the girl child, be aware of the celestial obligation to ensure that your offspring, children, whom you call children that you carry in your womb, are not in a position in any way to be compromised by what you call your modern times ways of life, your way of life. Because since the beginning of, since the creation of human beings, in our interpretations of the holy verses of the Holy Quran, or all the ayahs of the Holy Quran, the baby in a woman's womb has always stayed there 9 months, under the protocol and the decrees of Allah, that a child, a baby, a creation in a woman's womb, must be in a position, a posture, that posture allows that child to experience and to make the mother feel comfortable while she's pregnant. Comfortable while she's pregnant. If a child or a creation in a woman's womb is not in a position of sujood, then medical and your biological and your medical records, you say the child is not in a position that is a normal position whereby shouldn't cause harm to a mother. The mother shouldn't cause what you call harm to the mother that is carrying the womb. So that will carry the creation in the womb. In that sense, that obligation has remained done. However, in modern times, you as mothers, you say, our way of life, which has kind of shown the what you call neglection. You neglected a part of that celestial obligation as mothers, of which I've said to you that mothers of the human race, of human beings, look up to the Magna Carta, of which I did explain to you. The Magna Carta was not properly explained to any one of you as present generations of mothers. It was there when they put it in the whatever, they did pile things on it until it came somehow obscure. The Magna Carta, it became something which has been obscure to the integrities of every human being, especially mothers. The Magna Carta that interprets the beauty of life, you as mothers and your children, was over time, over whatever, as we saw the liabilities that we are going on in the 11th centuries, did so the Magna Carta. Men used to dress up, they entered the UN assembly, instead of talking about, speaking or discussing things that were constructive and beautiful to the interpretation of the beauty of the most beautiful religion, which is life. Life is a religion. Life is a religion. However, that very most holy, beautiful religion has one celestial guidance, holy divine guidance, and that is the Holy Quran, in which each and every law, each and every word of the Holy Quran tells you, first of all, if we are to go in the medical world, it says prevention is better than cure. If you are to go in the interpretations of your daily life activities and economic or social, the Quran says yes. You have to be reminded of your celestial obligation to respect life of your children, life of every one of you in your societies. By that, Allah says, yes, you are reminded through the 5 times prayers that you have every day. The Fajr, Dhuhr, Asr, and Maghrib, as well as Isha. In each of those prayers, you are reminded that you are once a very little baby. You are reminded. And in that reminder that you once a very little baby, you are reminded the obligation to protect the children around you, not to molest them, not to abuse them in any way. In that same interpretation, Allah reminds every one of you as mothers that you've got to, when you protect these children from either molestation, you've got to feed them. You've got to feed them. If the children have no food, it's very easy in modern times, as you can see when you walk around the world, children peeping to check what is in the dustbins. If you had enough, if all of you as mothers or the entire planet had an obligation, which is it's a celestial obligation that you do contribute something for future generations. And the only way you can do that is by planting a lot of food, a lot of trees. When I say planting a lot of trees, trees have what we call a guaranteed holy divine provision for every child, either those who are present or those who are not present. If you have to eat a fruit, you plant the seed from that fruit. The next day, or the next year, or thereafter, those children who will be available by that time, they will be able to harvest either a basket of or apples or oranges or anything. The same applies to vegetables. So in that sense, if a child has something to eat, and in her, because for instance, some of these very special foods, they make the children's what you call senses very awake. At the same time, these plants, they do a lot of work in maintaining the levels of gravity, electrical, metallic elements within the vicinity, or within the sphere, within the surrounding, within what we call Mother Nature or the environment. So that way, I would like to remind my American Senate to the introduction of the new law, or sex law, which is a new law, that that law should be headed and interpreted by one of the most honored female judges on the assembly, or in the justice system of the Americas. Not by men. My American children in the Senate, in the Assembly, I know you have whatever you call judges in the whatever. Let the person who takes on this interpretation of the sex law, which has heard of this, that you are going to have introduced and amending that law, let those people who sought that amendment of that law be women. Because if you are to look around, women know they carry their children their womb, as well as feeding them and knowing. Women know which way these men go through to hurt these little children. And with it, any of my little children, especially girls or boys, who have been molested, my people have said it again and again, the Virginia law. There's a law which is being introduced called the Virginia law. Any child, when they are molested, when they are young, that thing that they do to them will never die. It's a scar for life. But in one or the other, these are things which are preventable. Because Allah puts in the Holy Quran. He said that prevention is better than cure. Don't engage in human trafficking. Don't engage in anything that desecrates the beauty of integrity, the integrity of your beauty in your, what you call the beauty of your integrity. Don't desecrate any of those things in any way. When you look at your children as a mother, ensure that look in their eyes goes back and reminds you while you were pregnant that indeed that child needs protection until she's 20 years old to be able to travel. Yes, Mama, I want to go and visit my cousins in Australia. If she's under the age of 20, then that is impossible. Why? Because you might have a heartbreak. And also these children should not be exposed to what we saw or what you men in America and women and men are going to hear when you're watching the Virginia the Virginia law being put into interpretations or introduced to the Senate to be discussed, which require something like, as I said, the interpreters must be women. They're boys too. Because when a boy is molested, that very day he dies. He dies. Me too. You know, when these children are molested, it's me who they kill. And when they kill me, I don't know anywhere else to go but to cuddle with these little children, and I say, my babies, what can we do to make the world understand that life is a very, very beautiful religion? That is, if you're not a kafara, that is, if you're not a slave, that is, if you are respected and your dignities and your integrities are respected the same way your mother respected them, honored her celestial obligation, and took over and ran the marathon, which was 200,000 kilometers per second for 9 months. So if the World Health Organization and the UN Assembly puts a law to protect and interpret the Magna Carta and the beauty of life to every human being through the holy divine interpretations of the guidance of the Holy Quran, many of you, children, you'll be very happy. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.